Okay, today we're talking about Moa breeding. So once you got your stable set up on your land, you're going to interact with the stable and you have to choose a female and then you'll choose a male. Now after you select both of those, you're going to have two options. You can either start the breeding right away by clicking the little heart icon, or the one with the plus that looks like healing, you can choose a booster. Now, the boosters give an additional chance for the new Moa to have an ability or a trait. When you choose the booster, it'll highlight in yellow and then it won't consume until you start the breeding. So as long as the yellow square is around the one you choose, it is selected. And then once you choose to start breeding, you'll see it gets consumed out of my inventory. If you're far enough in the Hatterack Desert Journal, you'll have one of the rune merchants unlocked over here in Drosnarda, and he has some of the breeding certificates you can use as boosters. And I assume some of the other rune merchants that you unlock later have some better certificates, but I can't confirm because I'm not that far yet. Some other things you're going to need are Moa rations, and you will also need Moa remedies. When buying your remedies and your rations, make sure you check the market and the Moa vendor down at the bottom right of Ravencrest first, because the Moa vendor is going to rip you off for the rations, but he sells the remedies cheaper than the market, at least for now. So this is going to come in later in the breeding process. After the breeding's done and the hatching's done, you're going to have to go through a series of petting, feeding, or using the Moa remedy on the Moas. So you can see here, this one I need a pet. This one I need to feed, which will consume the Moa ration. This one I need to give a Moa remedy, which will consume the remedy. And so on and so forth. So you need to do this about 4 or 5 times every 2 hours. And then the entire process will be complete and you will get your Moa babies. The passives are pretty straightforward, in my opinion. You have a choice between tier swing, which I assume is the likelihood of you getting a higher tier than what you're currently breeding. You have a line that increases the probability of a trait on your Moa. You have a line that decreases the hatching time by a total of 10 hours, and then some additional experience. So I guess it depends what you're in the breeding for. But me, I went all the way in on increased tier swing because I want higher tier Moas. The next one I'll choose is probably going to be the traits. And yeah. Also, if you want to check how well your new baby Moa came out, you can come into the passives here. And if you change each tier on the left and you scroll down a little bit, you can see the different ranges of speed and strength. And you could also check the rarity of your Moa by color down here. And while I don't have every example possible of a trait or an ability that can drop, here's just a couple examples. One last thing worth noting is as you level up your Moas, when you get to certain levels, it will unlock benefits that while breeding that Moa will increase the chance at an ability or a trait. Now, I'm not really sure if this is entirely worth it because it requires a lot of time and also a lot of resources in order to level up your Moas. Now, if this is something you do passively, that's one thing, but trying to brute force it, I'm not quite sure of. But yeah, that's Moa breeding. Thanks for watching. If you guys are new here, don't forget to subscribe and leave a like on the video. Also, come check me out live on Twitch. The link is in the description below.